Hello, hello. I am Nancy Jutton. I am the founder of the Be Your Own Wizard movement, and I am someone who has attended the Soulful Leadership Retreat for each of the last 3 years. It's in Orlando, Florida, and it is an event that I make a priority every year because of how awesome it is in every good way. And since I already know how awesome it is, I'm eager for you to get a dose of why it's so special. Because as you plan what you want to do to make 2026 your best year ever, I want you to make it a priority to be in the room to benefit. So today, as my very special guests, I have the incomparable and amazing duo of Renee Porteous and Mark Porteous, who are the co-creators of this amazing event. And we're going to talk to you about why you need to make it a priority and why you need to do something about it before Thanksgiving. So, with that being said, hey, how are you two?
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. Doing great. It's so weird to be talking about 2026.
But it's going to be here like in 20 minutes.
Right, right.
Going to be here in 20 minutes. And if we're looking to start our year off right with the best possible energy, resources, and experts, we need to know what's coming down the pike so we can secure our place. So, for those who are learning about the Soulful Leadership Retreat for the first time, how would you describe what this really is all about and what makes it different from any other leadership or personal growth event that folks may be considering?
Well, it's been happening for 7 years now, and the longevity of it is one of the things that really stands out. Our first event was in 2020, in February of 2020. 3 weeks later, the whole world shut down, and so we did the next two virtually, and then we did one as a hybrid a year ago, and then it's been really nice being just back in person because we do so much virtually. And many of the people, we've had hundreds of people that have come over the years. And this year is going to be, I think, more unique and more special than any of them before. And I think most of that is because I've kind of handing the torch over to Renee to make it more experiential.
So, Renee, tell us more about that. So often we go to these 3 day events and there's some guru on the stage teaching, teaching, teaching. How is this event going to be different in terms of the experience folks are going to have?
Right. So the teaching, what they call the talking heads, right, Nancy? So we really want to incorporate a lot of different activities and time for connection. We don't want it just to be a stage full of talking heads. So incorporating movement and breakout sessions and masterminding the tables, getting to really forge those relationships in the room. That's part, I think, of what makes the Soulful Leadership Retreat so great is the connections that you walk away with. And so we want to make sure there's plenty of time for those connections.
I think one of the other things that makes it very special, you had talked about the urgency about before Thanksgiving. Uh, for the last 2 years now, we've been building up to creating the container before the event. Then we have the container during the event, and then we keep that container going after the event. So we have these pre-retreat mixers that we host on the third Tuesday of each month to help start building those connections now and setting those intentions. We mentioned 2026. It's really, really funny because, like you said, it's going to be here in no time. And the way that you start off the year and the intentions that you set for it, Renee's already got like the whole calendar planned out. That's why it's funny that you're saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's already 2026. You've already got like the whole year planned out. But I think that it's really important about the people that we're with. And that's really what we focus the event on is really being able to curate the experience by having other aligned individuals like you who are our ambassadors out there, sharing the good word and bringing your own tribes with you.
Well, since you mentioned, thank you. It's been a pleasure to bring my own mastermind members to your event because what I like about that is we each advocate and champion for each other in a room full of hundreds of people. And if you're looking to meet the person who's an expert in ABC who can work with people who are like this, to have 8 or 10 people in the room working the room so that you can have the speed of making those connections, that is just priceless, I think.
Mhm.
Um, so, what happens when someone walks into the soulful leadership retreat? What do they see, feel, and experience over those 3 powerful days?
I think what I hear from a lot of people is the moment they walk into the room, they can just feel that it's a soul family reunion and they just know they're amongst friends and colleagues and, it's a safe space.
I know we hear a lot of times that people can drop in quickly, that they're in a place where they don't have to explain what they do first. That's one of the things that we hear again and again, like, oh my gosh, I don't have to like help people understand. They're again, it's a very resonant community. And like you said, people feeling like they're at home allows us to drop the egos. Everybody in the room gets to be able to shoulder. We encourage everyone to be active and participate throughout the whole event, sharing at the mic. We have very cool panels, breakouts throughout each segment so that everybody gets to share their wisdom, not just be able to hear from the speakers.
I think the generosity by which you share your stage is something that I would note as something that sets it apart from other events. And not everybody's speaking to sell. People are speaking to inspire, speaking to shift your perspective, speaking to help you see your business and your model in perhaps a new and fresh way. Which brings me to, like we always say, who's this for and who is it not for? Um, my experience is that these are leaders who lead with both head and heart, who are many icons in the industry that we otherwise wouldn't get to be eye to eye, nose to nose, and knee to knee with. Can you elaborate on who have been some of the people that have been there and the caliber of people that are eager to be part of a soulful leadership movement?
We'll show some of them off in our panels. So
Hmm.
we always have our JV panel, that is our top promotional partners. You've always been a part of that. That's always fun to meet the people that are there, like Darla Ledoux, yourself, some of the other icons, like you said, in the industry. And we literally created a panel just for the titans of industry. And so we have people like Alessio Peroni coming in from Spain, who was the former chief marketing officer for Mind Valley. uh, what you'll find is that it's really the people in our community. It's the people that are in MetaMind, the people that have been a part of our community, being able to share the elements where it's really been based on, from 2020, my mentor calling me the soul connector. And it's all about connecting to who you are at soul level, connecting to your soul purpose, and then connecting to your soul tribe, the people that are here to support you on that purpose. And so that's the general theme of it. But the way that Renee is restructuring it and really bringing in integration of all the different parts of MetaMind, because a lot of it isn't just about strategy. There's a lot of mindset issues in it. And as part of your inner circle, as somebody that's in your mastermind, it isn't just about business. It really is about life. And leadership isn't just about the way that we run our business. It's the way that we parent. It's the way that we couple. It's the way that we work with all of our families and all of the community issues. And so there's a lot more to how we lead than just our business.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. I often say you got to love your business and love your life because one without the other isn't good enough. And I think that one of the things that I deeply appreciate is the opportunity to get involved in sidebar conversations in the hallways and around the edges with people to say, this is a model I'm exploring. I see that you're using this model. How's it working for you? What's enjoyable about it? What makes you cringe about it? Knowing me as you know me, would you suggest that as something that I might pursue? And I really appreciate the truth telling that happens in the room. So it's not just what happens on the stage or on the panels or what happens over lunch. It's what happens when you really dial in and set intentions around what you want to come away with and how you want to be transformed because of it. And so the fact that so many of your guests return year after year after year after year, like what's that secret sauce that you're pouring into the margarita that's making this a must-attend event?
It's really about community, Nancy. We all share a similar mission. Maybe, our businesses are different, but we're all here to serve and grow together. And that's really what happens at the Soulful Leadership Retreat.
There was someone on your Titan panel last year, I believe it was Milana Lashinsky. She was one of the amazing icons of influence that was on stage. And she was talking about how for the longest time, she wanted to create a seven-figure business and to have that um, notch on the bedpost, if you will, as an accomplishment. And one of the things that she shared was one day she was with her accountant. Why don't you, do you remember the story? Tell the story of what she shared from the panel. Do you remember?
Yeah, basically, she was just saying that her accountant was letting her know that she had passed that seven-figure mark, and Milana was feeling left out because there was no parade, there were no ticker tape, there was no big celebration. Nobody knew about it but her, and it didn't really feel any different.
I remember that so vividly because sometimes people are chasing commas and zeros in their income without thinking about what they give up to get it, or how it felt when it happened, or if they had it to do over again, would they do it the same way? And so, if we're really going to have transformation in the room, if people could come prepared to have those kinds of deep conversations, I think that people will come away with their eyes wide open about what could really be a right fit model for them to pursue and what could be an inappropriate fit to which they should not commit, you know?
I think you're absolutely right because and that's another thing that makes it stand out because there are a lot of networking events and I host networking events online twice a month, hundreds of people every month. And that was one of the things we've talked about. We wanted to make sure that this was not just a networking event. It is about collaboration. It's about building relationship capital, long-term partnerships, not just one-off transactions.
Mm-hmm. Um, that leads me to another question. You know, every time we do an event, year after year, there's always this pattern of continuous improvement. How can we make it better? How can we go deeper? How can we make this more transformational? What would you say to someone who said, I don't want to go to another event if it's a pitch fest? How would you answer that question as to why your event does not fit that description?
Do you want to answer it?
Well, with our speakers on the stage, they typically they're there to give value and to add to the conversations that come up in the room as we open up the floor and the conversations to the people who are sitting in the seats. But so yes, they can offer like perhaps they have a free gift that they might share, but that's typically what we lean into with the speakers from the stage because we don't want it to be a pitch fest.
Mhm.
I'm so glad you addressed that because sometimes people they put their armor on and they do their pinky swear when they walk into the room and they say, "You're not buying anything, I'm not buying anything, we're not doing anything." I'm
Well,
sure you've had.
and it's hard enough when you have three or four people every day that are really selling something and making you feel like without that thing, you're not going to be able to work. Really, again, like Renee said, that the each of the speakers are really facilitating a conversation. They're focusing around the themes that we know that we need to grow our business. And so, any invitation is really a step more for training or learning rather than pitching and selling. But beyond the stage, the hardest part I have of going to an event is not the people selling from the stage, it's the people selling from the seats.
I was
And
just going to ask you about that.
yeah,
How,
so
so many people, I mean, we're all running around in the same circles. Many people are eager to attract new clients to their own practices. What intention would you invite guests to set when they walk into your room in this regard? Do they pitch from the seats or do they not? What would be the ideal scenario if you could paint a picture and wave your magic wand?
well, we do a whole intention setting, and we'll go through that every month. We do little bits of it, of helping people to set their own intention. But when we're in the room, we have to really create the container. So we'll do it a week before we get there, and then, at the opening, sharing these things about leaving the ego at the door, coming in with a beginner's mind, and not selling to each other, and asking permission from everybody in the room to not pitch to each other for 3 days, to just build a relationship for 3 days. And if somebody wants what you have in 3 days from now, they're still going to want it. In fact, they'll probably want it even more if you're not pitching it. And so we really want to create that environment for people to feel safe of just feeling like, oh, I'm just going to lunch with you and I can digest my food, not your offer.
Oh, so good. Now, in your previous comment, you made reference to some themes that are going to be discussed each of the 3 days. Can you elaborate on what those themes are and how people can get excited about putting that into their strategic planning for next year?
Sure. So as Mark mentioned, it's broken down into three concepts because it's not a business conference. It's about us as whole people, whole leaders. So there'll be conversations. We have Rachel Jane Groover coming back. She was a speaker on the stage last year. We'll be having her come back to what is her talk that she?
Well, it's all about embodying
Yes.
the divine masculine or the divine feminine, but it's about getting out of your head and down into your heart, so that when we're communicating with each other, that's where we're meeting from. So that's one of the pieces.
Yeah, that's one of the pieces.
Isn't
Um,
there, I seem to recall there's, um,
the daily themes we're shifting out of that. I
oh,
mentioned
oh,
so connecting to who you are was day one, connecting to why you're here was day two, and connecting to the people that can help you thrive in your purpose. We're really bringing all of that together throughout all 3 days.
Yes.
oh,
And so really we want to focus on more of what it's like to be part of our community throughout the year. We're going to have more love seats, which you're familiar with, where people can get laser coaching during different segments. We're going to have more, like Renee was saying, interaction, more masterminding. Jay Fairbrother, our dear friend Jay Fairbrother, will really be able to set up creating that mastermind feeling for throughout the whole 3 days. And so it's more about the structure. We have panels where people will be able to interact and engage with the community. We have our evening event, which Renee will be hosting. Uh,
But yeah, during the day, though, also the conversations about like the hot topics, like how is AI, like, that's going to have to come up, right, Nancy? Because how is AI impacting us in our business and how we show up and what we're doing? And so there's, we went the hot topics too for that around business and how it's impacting us.
and we'll have a whole conversations about AI, but there's lots of different aspects about it. Our friend Christina Hills, the website creation workshops, was talking about how when you were doing searching for things, a lot of times websites don't even come up. Now we get that AI version. And so we have to look at all the different aspects of it, not just how we use it as a writing tool
mhm.
or all the other, things that we talk about. So there will be hot topics like that. And also we talked about nourishment and lunch. In the past, we've usually used that time as a lunch and learn. And we've decided this time to just focus on lunch and connect.
I am so glad to hear that. I was at a networking event the other day and it was so tightly structured that there was no opportunity to say, can you elaborate on that? Tell me more, because there was someone interrupting with the microphone about whatever was coming next. And I thought, I feel so shell-shocked from this experience. I don't know that I'd ever want to attend another luncheon like that. And so the very idea that you could sit in a lovely, is it going to be at the 11th floor?
Yes,
Beautiful
yes.
view. Like you could sit down and look at somebody and in between bites say, tell me more about that, and actually get to hear what the person has to say. That's where the real relationships happen. I know, when I met Mark maybe 10 years ago, I saw him across the room and we met eyes and I thought, I'm supposed to know that guy. I wonder if I'm going to have an opportunity to meet him and talk with him. And here we are 10 years later, super close, and all three of us very close. So I would say for those who are watching now, like, what if you could go into a room with 200 amazing, soulful leaders and come away with 5 jewels in the crown to add to your network that could change everything for the better in every good way? What then might happen? I mean, lean into that possibility, because people have had major transformations as a result. I mean, you've had 7 years of experience. I mean, what has happened to some of the people that have come back again and again and again? Have their lives and businesses been transformed?
What's funny because yeah, I remember you just talked about the three jewels in your crown, and I remember going to that event, and really I was there to support one of our clients, and so I just had no intention but to serve. And you were the one who recommended, well, why don't you set the intention of what would those three jewels look like? And so I think it's really important for people to understand, are these partners that you would want to have? Are they people that you'd want to have as mentors or guides? But really setting that intention is really, really important. And the things that have come out of it is really amazing because, again, we do invite people to join our mastermind called MetaMind that you're a part of. And we'll really want people to experience what that's like. But there's 200 people in the room and 50 of them will leave as part of MetaMind. We want all 150 people that aren't in MetaMind to still be able to be part of that community. We have our online community, and we've seen some of the partnerships that have come out of it, the summits that have come out of it, literally six-figure businesses that have blossomed out of it. So
And friendships.
lasting friendships, people coming in from all over the world, coming back because that's the one or two times a year where they get to connect in person.
I love all that. And I also want to sort of segue into the venue. It's the Reunion Resort in Orlando, Florida, which is kind of a big darn deal. But the accommodations are fantastic. The amenities are fantastic. And so talk a little bit about how cool it is that people can be in these suites and get together and do, talk a little bit about that.
Sure. So we have the conference room is in the tower. We have the ballroom. And so it's not like a big hotel where you have 10 ballrooms and you have to figure out which one you're at. We have the ballroom in the tower. And there are two-bedroom villas in those towers. So everyone has their own king size bed and bathroom. And then there's like a kitchen. So if you aren't up for eating the delicious food that they have at the resort, at the 7 restaurants, or eating with us at 11, you can make food in your room. And then outside of the tower, we have three-bedroom villas that are right across the street from the tower. So those are lovely too.
And some of those has like the two queen beds, so people will have 3 to 5 people in a villa. And you and I have shared villas before with our Bettermind people, and both in at the JVX in Las Vegas and in Colorado. And it's really fun to be able to break bread in the morning and then to be able to come back and wrap up. I know some of the nights went way too late and we're exhausted the next morning. But because of that time, and I know that when you bring all of your tribe with you, that's one of the things that they get to do. They get to hang out with each other and bring in the new people that they're meeting. So it's really fun having those accommodations, like you said, right across the street and anywhere on the property. It's a huge property. They have shuttle service that goes all over. There's a water park that's included for everybody that stays there. And we do help if you are coming by yourself to find roommates. And that those have been absolutely magical as well. In fact, some of the people that have been roommates, our friend Christina and
Terry, now
Terry,
they're like best friends
they
every
stay.
day on the phone.
And my
I,
partner David always has the same roommate every year. People it is a reunion.
It's the magic that happens around the edges and in those breakfast conversations and those late night recaps. The intimacy and the connection that's achieved is something that you can't really duplicate anywhere else in my experience. So I might tip my hat to you. I want to mention that I will be hosting a special mastermind in my hotel suite the day before the event starts. I've invited those who are part of my Love Your Business, Love Your Life inner circle to be in the room. And anyone else who wants to be in an intimate room like that to discuss and set intentions about what you want to accomplish and be part of our inner circle posse to be looking after each other. If you decide that you want to be part of the Soulful Leadership Retreat 2026 and you register at my invitation, you get to come to that. And last year, some people told us that it was just such a blessing to start the event that way because it set the whole mood for how they could make the most of the rest of it. And it was very, very special. So I'll be dropping a link in the chat if you feel called to be part of this. I hope that you will be part of it at my invitation because I think you're going to find that it's going to exceed your expectations in ways that you couldn't even possibly imagine because that's just the way I roll. I've been there doing that my whole life. So what else, if anything, would you want to say to people who are sitting on the fence about whether or not Soulful Leadership Retreat 2026, like talk a little bit about, don't you have some kind of special things that are happening the last day, some kind of by application only
Awesome.
mastermind or something like
Yes,
that?
yes. Well, there's a couple really cool things. We have evening events too, which Mark started to talk about. One of them is the Partner Palooza, where you get to come do speed dating with speed networking, right?
Networking, yeah.
So that's a super fun thing. So we start with, well, we have our welcome reception for everyone at the very
The
beginning.
night before the event.
So
Everyone is welcome.
everyone is invited to that where we'll have hors d'oeuvres and we'll be out overlooking the beautiful golf course. It's quite lovely. And so we start with that, and then we do wrap up with it's an application only mastermind because it's really about JV collaborations and partnerships. So we want people who are ready for that to be in the room. So we want qualified individuals so you can find those potential partners.
So good. So good.
But
Well,
I
go
wanted to
ahead.
add actually one more thing that Renee is not even aware of, and I do this quite often where her eyes got big, like, oh no, what are you going to say? You had mentioned your group. So anybody that comes with your group, I have a special gift. We're going to bring one of our collaborative books. We'll have them available there. But anybody that comes in under your link, you'll get a signed copy from that I'll sign. Renee will sign, and you are also in the chapter, so we'll
Okay.
all get to sign that book for everybody that comes with your tribe.
Oh, that's so nice. I love that. Well, it's been truly an honor to be featured in the last two of your Soulful Leadership books. And, people that are aspiring to be authors, I know that's one of the benefits of being in MetaMind, or it has been, that people can participate in a book compilation project and be associated with all these amazing leaders who are committed to more than commas and zeros, but making big impact in the world and with human beings on the ground. So I love that. So, if someone was thinking, why am I waiting to delay to register for the Soulful Leadership Retreat? What would you say to them right now so that they can get on with it?
There's two things I'm thinking about.
Go for it.
So one, there's a discount.
Oh, yes, different ticket levels. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So you can save $100. I don't know if we have a special name,
Nancy has one, yes.
Mhm.
Nancy 100. So I think that's what it is. So that'll save $100, and I think that goes through December 1st. We also have our monthly pre-event mixers where you'll get to start meeting the people that are there ahead of time. So the sooner that you sign up, the more of those mixers. And I think our next one is on the 18th, Tuesday, the 18th of November. So you want to sign up before then.
Excellent. And what would you add to that, Renee? Anything?
There's no time like now. Why wait? If your heart is calling you, then join us. Sign up with Nancy's link and come join us, join her mastermind, get your signed copy of the book. No
Yes,
time
yes,
like now.
yes. Well, then I will drop all of that in the chat so people have access to it. If I was going to say one other thing that would be a really good benefit. As you head into the season of gratitude, why not be grateful that you made a wise decision to attend the must-attend event of the season to kick off your new year off right with the right people? People are always saying, where am I going to find the people that invest in their success, that care about transformation, that are aligned in their values, that do the things that we all care about? This is the room to be in. Listen, I live in Tucson, Arizona, and previous years I've lived in Washington State. If you look at the United States of America, like Florida is over here and Washington is over here, it's no small task to travel that distance to get to that. But I make it a priority because I'm so grateful to be in relationship with these amazing people, most notably the two of you and all the other people that I've been fortunate to partner with, do business with, share my most deep and challenging
Mhm.
business opportunities with. I mean, if you want to be seen, heard, and helped, celebrated, compensated, not only in the traditional ways, but in the ways that fuel your heart, I hope that you will say yes and join us at the Soulful Leadership Retreat in February.
I have one more reason. Fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
With
I
Renee
love
all
the
the time.
media.
Having something on your calendar, having a vacation on your calendar will help motivate you and inspire you through the holidays. I was like, oh, that's something to look forward to. So I would love for us to be something that you're looking forward to in February.
One other thing, it's your resort is located fairly adjacent to some of the most major entertainment attractions in all of Florida. Like how,
Disney World right around the corner.
so
And
make
the
it a
workshop does go
vacation.
3 days before and 3 days after. So many people will come early or stay late.
Come early, stay late, but come with the intention to meet jewels in the crown, to make important decisions that will influence the success of your business and your life, and to make friends that could be with you, not just for a reason or a season, but for a lifetime, because that has certainly been my experience, and I would wish that for you. And so I hope to meet you there. So with that, I want to say thank you so much, Mark and Renee, for making time to talk with me about your fabulous event. And I look forward to looking you eye to eye, nose to nose, and knee to knee in Florida in February. And I'm counting the minutes. So thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Nancy.
Nancy.
Thank you. Okay.